Rien qu'un ex, un mot, n'a pas de chance. Oui, c'est beau. Mais pour moi, une explication vaudrait mieux. Sous aucun prétexte, je ne veux devant toi surex poser mes yeux. Derrière un Kleenex, je saurais mieux comment te dire adieu. Comment te dire adieu. Tiens, mise à l'index, nos nuits blanches, nos matins gris bleus. Mais pour moi, une explication vaudrait mieux. Sous aucun prétexte, je ne veux devant toi surex poser mes yeux. Derrière un Kleenex, je saurais mieux comment te dire adieu. Comment te dire adieu. Comment te dire adieu. Comment te dire adieu. Comment te dire adieu.
I will never do that again.
If I was to hold one hand over my face now, would you know me, or would you see the other side of me? And if you were to notice, there is a plan I've been devising to go, not to go now, far away from here now. And I'm gonna be so brave, and I'm gonna go so far away. Where are the wise men?
I know that, Mr. Man.
What have they all gone to? Did they follow the spirit children down the road that only they know? And you and I know that the answer lies somewhere deep in the city of skies. And we're gonna go there, we're gonna go there, we're gonna see the daylight. And I'm gonna fly away now, and I'm gonna go where the path runs high. I'm searching. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna see my way through, and you can follow. We can go together, trunk in hand. We're gonna go. Isn't it touching the way the trees hold the leaves into the sky? And when the breeze blows, all you can see is a green and gold. And you and I know that the city holds the street night lights. And we're gonna find it. We're gonna find the gold that illuminates our lives. And I'm gonna go so far away, and I'm gonna see the stars up high. Hear me out, hear me out.
Yeah. This was a Germo Rumble. Yeah, if you don't remember, it was a stupid joke, but it was the abstract. It was called like Peep the Horror. So this was so he made Peep the Horror as like a character in Germa Rumble. So that was the idea behind this, and I thought the design was so sick that I drew it as like a character. Wait, is it actually like an emote? Holy shit! I didn't even know that. Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That was one of the first images I actually drew for Cobble Critters. Uh, the the idea behind it was Jimmy needed a couple images so he could start making templates, and I thought it'd be really cute to have a Grotto Beast Easter egg in there. That's literally pretty much all it is behind it. It's very clearly supposed to be Meowty. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. So, so for the Kickstarter page, we had like a little like about me, and I had to draw a couple portraits for us. And Jimmy's portrait, I'm pretty sure I still have it somewhere. I could probably find it. But basically I took his portrait that I made and then I just added cat ears and lingerie. Here's his actual like portrait. And then because keep in mind I hadn't shown Jimmy the actual portrait yet. So this was like, look, this is your new portrait. Yeah, that was a pain. Yeah, that one it ooh, that one I'm really proud of the way the sushi box looks for this one. This one was I think we changed it to Icky Sushi or something along that line, but or Wingcorp Sushi, but before it was just called Gas Station Sushi. This one's honestly pretty straightforward. I just love drawing Picasso Million because of how expressive he is. So I gave him like the comedic green face and like puking. Honestly, this is probably one of the best Call Critters arts. Oh, okay. So for this one, this is actually a reference to Tufu. So long, long, long time ago, Tufu did uh the Emerald Gauntlet, the Ruby Spear, and something along those. Like I don't remember the names off the top of my head, but basically Tufu did them, and they made them all jaggy and pixely. So I really liked that look behind it. So I tried to make the new ones jaggy and pixely too, and Tufu really liked that. Yeah, I'm really proud of him. That one in particular, I'm really proud of because like how it looks like the lighting is really coming off the sword. Okay, Stat Cat actually have. So if you're not aware, I actually made a real Stat Cat. I went to the dollar store, bought a Bristol board, and went to Staples, printed off like the size of an actual cat, and then I essentially made like a real cutout Staticat, and we brought it to the convention. That was really cool. A lot of people really loved that cat. One person won it in the raffle and got to take it home. This I did way back when about a year ago. Just designing not cobble critters. At that point they were grotto beasts. Just designing grotto beasts off the top of my head, and I decided Sasquatch just because why not? It was a funny little idea. But I really love how the new one turned out with like all the colors in the background and the lightning and stuff. Yeah, the face is so much more expressive now. I love it. Okay, this one was I always just love doing these weird collage sort of designs. My favorite on here is probably Toxosaurus. I don't know. He looks so goofy over there. He is the middle-ish section over on the right. Yeah, I wanted to choose something that was very colorful, like flat, but still added some depth to it. So the classic like Bende dots are very, very nice for it. This was inspired by Link's Temple in Breath of the Wild, like the first like shrine that you see when you start the game. That's pretty much this temple, except with little crack statues of Suzuchime in the background. I'm really, really proud of how this one turned out because it's so simple yet it's so pretty. I actually have the playmat right here. So in Digimon, you need a memory counter in order to play the game because memory is like your currency that you use to summon creatures. And it was really annoying having to bring cards around everywhere that had memory counters on them. So I thought, screw it. after looking on eBay forever and not finding anything that I really found interesting, I thought, screw it, I'm just gonna make my own. And I have it. It's sitting in my room, and I absolutely love this design. And funnily enough, when I was at like a tournament, I showed one of the guys the art, and he's like, "Oh, I saw that online. That's dope." He he actually saw my post because it went semi-viral. That's for a Digimon art contest. That's So I think in the new year, they're going to have a bunch of different designs and they're going to vote on which one they like best, and whichever they like best, that's going to be an official card. So I hope that this one is, because I think it's really cute. He's a garbage Digimon, so he's eating a whole bunch of garbage. So this one is for Digimon Dawn and Dusk, which if you didn't know, that's the DS game. So one guy decided, "Hey, I love this game, but it kind of sucks. So I'm gonna remake it and pretty much fix all of the major flaws in the system." He's pretty much remaking it from scratch in Unreal. So I thought, hey, I want to help out in some way. And I'm not that great at pixel art, but I'm really proud of how this turned out because it was a lot of work. And this is Upamon. He's a little axolotl guy. For a lot of my art, I don't have that much of a story behind them. I just think, hey, these are cool. I like to draw these. All right, perfect. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you. All right, talk to you later, my man.
Okay. Alrighty. Oh boy. This is an older one that I still want to go back and change it a bit cuz I don't know, I don't like how bald he looks. Yeah, I didn't give him the line like that separates from the head from the spikes, and it looks a little weird because of that. I was finishing this really late at night. I was very tired, and I was in a voice call with some friends, and I forgot how to write the letter W. I could not possibly think of what a W looked like. I could still write it, so I wrote it on a piece of paper and then used that as my reference because I could not remember what a W looked like. This was at the very beginning of the Ween era. This is like when I was really starting to go down the slippery slope. I think I actually did do this one at school. Um, I so you know what Whiteboard Fox is, right? It's an application that is supposed to be for like business meetings or whatever, but artists found it and code of it. It's not great, but it works and has like infinite size. But it's also laggy, shit color options, and yeah. And I struggled a lot with the eel's face, and I'm still not sure how I feel about it. I thought it would be fun, and it was fun. Wow, this is a really interesting pick. Yeah. She does not have an ass. An aspect of her design that is not visible in this is that she wears this little leather jacket thing, and she found it in a dumpster and never washed it, and wore it slash wears it 24/7. She's also just kind of like rolling around in trash or something. I don't know. Oh hell yes, I love this book. But I worked on it for like maybe 6 or 7 hours straight. I refused to eat until I was done. I went into a really intense hyper focus with it and just knocked it all out. When I was done, I was like dizzy, thirsty, had to go to the bathroom really bad, starving, mouth incredibly dry. I couldn't really control that. That just happens with me sometimes. I'm still really happy with this one. I love it a lot. It's one of my favorite things that I've made as of recent. And it does feel a bit cluttered in terms of like the typography and the logos and stuff. I was really struggling with that. There was no way to like fit everything in a way that looked better than this. And I've been thinking about maybe clearing it up a bit, probably changing the fonts so I don't get sued and like selling it as a shirt or a sticker or something. This is like the most popular post I've ever made on Instagram. This images has like a hundred likes or something. I'm famous. And I said, "Ween, hire this man," in parentheses, me, like the fucking Nintendo, hire this man, with the screenshots of Mario with all the deer in the fields. I never thought about it very much. I gotta think of another Ween flavor that isn't like pork roll, egg, and cheese, because that sounds awful. I mean, it's already waste. Yeah, it's already waste flavored. I could just double down on it being like nauseatingly disgusting. So sure, it's got like pork flavored eyes. Ooh, this is another fun one. These have all been music related because I've been really musically insane this year. This is some Residence fan art. This is based on the Mole show from the Mole trilogy, which is something they never finished. Something I find especially funny about that is that they made part one, and then they made part two, and then they made like part four and five, but they never did part three, and it was never finished. This was just me drawing the inventor because I really liked her. That's the one with the silly little lab coat type thing and the weird like T-shaped face. I really like her. I thought she had a cool design. And then it just kind of spiraled out of control, and I like drew three moles and a mole face and just started writing Mark of the Mole over and over again because I thought it looked cool. And then there's Marching to the Sea in the very bottom corner, which is a line from one of the songs in it. I can't remember which song specifically. The first time I really like quote unquote indulged in it, it was like watching the stage performance. So they all kind of blend together in my head in terms of actual songs. I'm not entirely sure how to explain this. I just think it's fun to look at and it's really fun to do. Just making all the text like sort of wrap around itself in the rest of the drawing. I don't see it happen very much. People just do like, really straight defined letters. So I thought, well, I don't want to do that. And I started doing this. I don't remember when it started, but I've been just kind of doing it ever since, and it's really fun to do it. Oh yay! This is another fun one, and this is a especially fun photo of it to use. A lot of the times people associate it with paintings. It's also in like Beanie Babies and shit. When you have like the pupils at a separate depth, it gives the effect that they're following you. And it didn't work especially well because I didn't have much depth I could actually use, but it still did work somewhat, and I'm happy with that. I just thought it would give it a bit more of an eerie effect, especially making it more eerie with how it already looks. It works a lot more when the angle you're looking at it from is really extreme, I think, and not when it's really like mild. It looks really good like that. I'm actually playing with it right now because I have my sketchbook next to me. Oh, this is another one I'm still really happy with. Um, I started drawing this in a Walmart parking lot. There's your fun fact for this. I had got these like Jesus stickers from Goodwill a few days before this because I thought they were funny as hell, and I was like, okay, well, I'll use these for something because I just like using stickers. And you can't really see the one in the bottom corner at all, partially because of the scanner and partially because the sticker is just really hard to read, but it says faith over fear. You can very vaguely read it. So, one of the cutouts here, the one that says God is for you and so are we, is from a card advertising a church I found on the street at complete like really crumpled up after a parade. That like all of the other cutouts are from this little booklet I was given. I was at a county fair a few months back, and these people were giving out free walking sticks if you listen to this guy talk about Jesus for a bit. And I wanted a walking stick because I just like having objects. Uh, and he gave me this flyer, like it said like the wordless walking stick, but then there was this booklet with a ton of words in it about Jesus and how this is like this walking stick is a big metaphor. So I cut a bunch of shit out from it, like the like man, Christ, God, man, sin, God, harmony, man ones I thought were really like they were kind of funny looking, but also like kind of cool. It's also from like the League of Christian Farmers, and their logo is a cross formed by three different strands of wheat, which is really funny. Pennsylvania is insane, man. I saw fucking Amish people at TJ Maxx recently. It was female Amish, but not like full Amish, like Mennonites. They had like their hair done in the little head cap thing that Amish women wear, but they were wearing like street clothing and shopping at TJ Maxx. It was really jarring. Weird Al was so right. Spending most our lives. I have like the first half of it memorized. All right, all right. As I walk through the valley where I harvest my grain, I take a look at my wife and realize she's very plain, but that's just perfect for an Amish like me. You see, we shun fancy things like electricity. At 4:30 in the morning, I'm milking cows. Jebediah feeds the chicken and Jacob plows. Fool, and I've been milking and plowing so long that even Ezekiel thinks that my mind is gone. I'm a man of the land into discipline, with a Bible in my hand and a beard on my chin. And it kind of gets a little hazy after that because like tonight we're gonna party like it's 1699 and then spending most our lives living here in Amish paradise. Churn butter once or twice, living in an Amish paradise. And that's all I can remember. We had to, yeah, we did an assignment based on Amish paradise. Me and my friends for music class, like our like music histories slash just kind of general music class. And we selected that because we liked Amish Paradise. We had to do a parody video. And my friend was watching it, and I was like singing along with the video in near perfect sync without being able to hear it, and it was scaring the shit out of him. So, me and my friend Hypercam, we are both, really insane about Ween, and we've been making Boognish characters themed around every album. And this is the one based on Shinola. And so I tried to incorporate the art style of the album cover into this guy's like body markings, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks better in person, but that goes with literally any traditional art, I think. It was a mix of both. MS Paint causes things to be a bit more scratchy, but also I just thought it looked kind of cool. So this one is inspired by two different things. The first one is the song Magic is Easy by Gorilla Toss, which is where the hypnotize yourself comes from. Then the other one, I don't know if I've actually ever told anyone this. This is a Tiddlywinks secret reveal. I just called myself Tiddlywinks. Holy shit. Whatever. I never do that anymore. It's this album cover from an album called Ultimate X Intimate by Rumble Raga. And it's mainly just the blood coming out of the mouth. That's where I got that from. And for any of those who may be unaware, this is the same character as was in the paper cutout one with the eyes that would follow you. This one's also got some janky eyes because I didn't center them properly, and she's looking to the left as a result. Sure. This is totally unrelated, but my friend is currently talking about a dream they had where, as a punishment for something, they had to drink a strawberry banana and piss smoothie. And I just thought that you should know that. It was their own piss. They said that they took a single sip and started like crying and heaving and stopped. I don't, he looks fucked up. I don't like the Boognish in this one. He looks fucked up. This is my first time drawing him, and it really shows. The other Boognish drawing that you actually went over, that was like the second time. I was thinking about this one a few days ago, actually. More Fenty content. I was really proud of the hand and the chair in this one. You gotta do what you gotta do. Yep. There's the not fixed one, where he looks intensely fucked up, and I don't like it. He looks so awful. Well, look at what they did to my boy. They being myself in this scenario. I still really like the Boognish tie tack, though. I thought that was really cute. Yeah, this is my profile picture for months. I don't really have anything to say about this one other than I like it. Transgender. That's all. Transgender. Oh, this was I think this was Eve's Minecraft character. I wanted to draw everyone's Minecraft characters, but then I just kind of didn't because I forgot. More MS Paint. This is just me fucking around. Balls. I had gotten this like really like weirdly fancy journal for like $20 at a bookstore. And it wasn't really good for drawing. Like if my current sketchbook, if that's really bad at smudging things, this one is atrociously bad. I love this one. Would make us do these dumbass assignments where she would like say something and we had to spend 5 minutes writing about it. No matter what it was, we would have to keep writing. It was really like it. And sometimes I'd just think, okay, whatever, I've written enough, and then just start doodling. And this was one of those. I remember for almost all of them, uh, Mine were almost all music related. And then on only one of them, after like 10 music related writing things she wrote, into music question mark on one of them. And I was like, what the fuck? They've all been about music. This is one of the same English teachers who it's the same English teacher who said, "Okay, we all have to write about a life-changing event from our childhood." English teachers really like doing that, and it's really bad. And okay, this kind of happened again recently. It was instead of like a life-changing, it was just a quote unquote important event. And I talked to the teacher and she let me do a later one. But my friend Dakota did not do a later one and instead went with a real traumatic thing that happened to him. And then the next day, like the day after we've no, the day of them being turned in, our English teacher goes, "Okay, guys, starting tomorrow, we're gonna read all of ours out to the class." It was fucked up. He he had to participate in some important band shit both of those days, but I think he's still gonna have to read it out to the class. And to make it even worse, he talked to the teacher about it. I like begged him to do that because I don't think anyone would want to hear about this. And she said, "If you want to read a different one, you'll have to write a new one. I can give you a few days, but you have to write a new one. A new page and a half narrative about an important memory from your childhood." I was really worried about this because I have another friend who's gone through some wacky shit in their lifetime who had to do a similar assignment. I think it was for a different teacher though. And they said that they wrote about, an important event in their childhood and legitimately got like sent to the ER for questioning over it. Like, what the hell? You asked for an important thing. Anyway, my school is wacky as fuck. Oh my god. Wait, no, this is like the same English class. I have two teachers though. We started reading this book called The Contender, and English teachers also love making you do agree or disagree, like pre-reading things about random moral questions that relate to the story. I, I fucking hate those because they're always so vague. Like, what about this scenario where it's somewhat different, or this scenario where it's really bad, or this one where it makes sense? Like, what the hell? Anyway, um, some of the questions were like, it's easy to escape from poverty, and the police have preconceived notions about poor people, and we have to write agree or disagree. And this teacher starts going over it, and she the first thing I remember her distinctly saying, I don't remember why she said it, I don't remember what it connected to. She goes, the worst experience that she had in her life at one point was when she was student teaching. The teacher she was doing it for was mean to her. That was what she said the worst experience in her whole life was. And I was like, my jaw dropped. Like, she said that was the worst thing that had happened to her. One of her, like, superiors was kind of rude and was, like, criticizing her a lot. Which, like, I can understand that's not pleasant, but how comfortable is your life to the point where that is the worst thing? That is insane. And then she also had a sister who was disabled, and she would also always talk about it as if she was like the savior of all disabled people and the spokesperson for all disabled people. And it was really uncomfortable. And okay, back to the like this her going over these agree or disagree things was a whole nightmare. She then said, I think it's easier to escape poverty nowadays because there's more programs set up. And you want to know what her main example was? Her main example is that there are programs to help to help pregnant teenagers. And then when we got to police have preconceived notions about poor people, she goes, "So everyone put disagree, right?" And we're like, "The police don't have preconceived notions about poor people." Ma'am, you have preconceived notions about poor people. What the hell? That made me so mad. Okay, this is an insane tangent. But I'm done. I'm done. That's all. Yeah. Whew. Oh God, here we go. Bugdish Flinko. Oh man. There was this meme on Tumblr called Horse Plinko. It was like this soft body animation test of just a horse falling through a bunch of Plinko pegs. And I was in a game design class at the time, a really bad one at my school. It was Unity, yeah, and like C sharp. And it was entirely programming and the teacher hadn't played any video games since the 80s. It was horrible. And I just got like a moment of inspiration where I thought, okay, I could do this in Unity since I don't really know how to like animate shit in Blender. And I did. And something that really bothers me about this still is how he bounces between the pegs. Like I turned the bounciness up all the way because I thought it'd be funny. Then he bounced between the pegs like that, and I hated it. Also, I had to offset it a little bit because when it was directly in the middle, he would just balance on the top middle peg. The GIF of this was so massive that it would never load, like ever. Oh god, I was really struggling to find out how to make the GIF transparent, and I had to jump through some really weird hoops, and later found out a much easier way I could have done it, and that was as a result of me trying to use a green screen thing for it. That was the only conclusion I could reach to get him transparent. But yeah, since the people so kindly viewing this on YouTube won't be able to see it in its purest state, he's falling into the incinerator, which is the bar of fire. Yeah, Boogdish Plinko. Okay, I'm just gonna start saying stuff about all of these because I have things to say about most of them. Uh, I'm still really happy with this. This was a piece based on like lethargia, whatever, and understimulation, which when combined are the worst experience possible. Like you're just sitting there feeling like sludge. It's a nightmare, and nothing is like making you not like you're so bored. You're just sludge, and you can't get yourself up to do anything, and it's a nightmare. And I remember the images I used for this were like these animation references of like this hand rolling a ball or something, and I just like completely, sludgified it. And I still like this one a lot. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this one actually, other than boing, and the text getting really insane. But yeah, it just really just becomes a mess. I also added like one too many boings in this. They only say boing 3 times, and I did 4. So I'm going to jail forever. Ebbles exists. I don't know what that was. It was someone talking on the whiteboard. I really have a lot to say this. I'm partially proud and partially not proud of this one. These are all just Wayne songs. I think the Uva La like text looks really cool, but I don't know how I feel about the rest of it. And there is just a sketch version of that. This is vent art. I don't remember. Literally do not remember. I think this is like the point in time where I was starting to enter psychosis, and that was just the whole thing. Let me like Google it and read out the Google definition because I don't know how to explain things. Psychosis is when people lose contact with reality. This might involve seeing or hearing things that other people cannot see or hear, and believing things that are not actually true. And then also, a mental disorder characterized by disconnection from reality may occur as a result of a psychiatric illness like schizophrenia. In other instances, it may be caused by a health condition, medications, or drug use. Symptoms include delusions, hallucinations, talking incoherently, and agitation. Person with this condition usually isn't aware of their behavior. Not really true. That's not really true. It's fucking horrible. People always think, oh, they aren't aware of this. Yeah, we're aware. We just can't fucking do anything about it. And the cause of it, this happening, I still get really mad thinking about it. I swapped to a new psychiatrist, and she was like, okay, we're going to swap your medication to make it more suited towards OCD. And I go, okay. She gives me 2 options. One I don't remember, and Zoloft. I've taken Zoloft before, and also lol song. So I go, okay, it's Zoloft. And I've taken Zoloft in the past. I'm reiterating this. And she sets the dosage very, very, very low. Like maybe a fifth of my previous Zoloft dosage. And I only get to see my psychiatrist once a month. And that just caused like this insanely bad psychotic episode. And it was also happening during finals week, but I still did good on my finals, which is I don't know. I'm just glad that I didn't fuck up my finals because I was in psychosis. Yeah, for a few weeks in my life, I was the American Psycho. I think I was just fucking around with colors in this one, but I think this is also really cool. I don't really remember what I did to get the checkerboard pattern, but it looks cool as fuck. Oh, this is a work in progress for a thing I never finished. I was fucking around with eyes with a sketch. Kept giving him a suit because I like suits, and then I stopped doing that because I felt like it made him a Tumblr sexy man, and I was really embarrassed over that. I just really like suits. I think they're cool. This that happened really badly a few months ago, and I was so embarrassed. There was a drawing in my sketchbook. I covered it up with Posca markers. It was really horrible out of context. It looked really weird. Not like, oh, this person is like bigoted or whatever, but this person's a fucking freak. And my dad saw it, and then I realized, holy shit, he doesn't know what this means. And I was like going, this is a reference to something I promised, like over and over. I was so embarrassed, and I just covered it up because I was so upset over that. More fun Fenty sketches because I just draw her all the time. I think I made that when I was really tired. I don't remember this one in the slightest, like at all. Holy shit, I don't remember this at all. Well, this is a Madness Combat OC. I rushed this, says the little me on the side. These were, I think, sketches are like after I think this was during finals week. Like, I had finished my finals, like a math test or something, and I just kind of started doodling. Pork roll, egg, and cheese lyrics. Like Kaiser Bun, yeah. This guy gets it. Yeah. More from this, which I still haven't finished. He's just on my desk. That's how it was with the breadth and length paper cutout thing. It took me like a month because I was not working at it at all. I have really bad executive function problems, and that just keeps me from working on art. And it's just that combined with a low attention span and wanting to, and like getting new ideas and wanting to start new shit 24/7 just leads me to never finishing stuff. There's the little tie tag. Whatever. More Captain Fantasy stuff. I remember I just was having a lot of fun with the hair. I didn't care that it like looked fucked up. I was just like, wee lines. I love lines. I also forgot about that one. Oh, here's more Mandy art. This was like when I was first doing the concepts for her. And this is still my favorite drawing of her. And there's her with her head, holding it like a ball. The circle with the X is her torso, and the things attached to that are her arms. And then she's holding her head under one of her arms, like at her torso. Like the Headless Horseman, yeah. More Captain Fantasy. I don't really have anything to say about this. More random Mandy art. I also don't have anything to say about this. Oh, these are some fun doodles when I like really fucking around with like silly cartoon eyes. And I remember, I don't know if I did it in this server, but I took a photo, zoomed in on the like bit of the hair where it swoops around, and compared it to the Germa logo. Because it kind of looks like it, but backwards. It's to the left of the nose. No, this was the background for something I did for someone else. This is background for fan art for a friend's character. I still think it looks pretty cool. It was just me messing around with drawing myself. The next one. That Yeah, and like how I want to look, which is just silly cartoon dude. It was at that time. It's kind of changed a bit. It's drawing of Beavis with a photo of him after Butthead beat the fuck out of him. This was when I was starting to like kind of find out more about Beavis and Butthead because of one of my friends named Beatrice, actually. Beavis, Butthead, and Beatrice. Doing square fingers is incredibly fun and less complicated. Okay, this is the beginning of the I am in deep psychosis and only making vent art era of my life. And I still think a lot of these looked really fucking cool, despite what was happening. No, yeah, it was because of what was happening. Like 100%. The Garfield minus Garfield panel, where John says, "Some days I just can't get started." There's just so many fucking images. I remember a lot of the process behind these was just me opening my gallery. Just if I saw something, I would put it in there. And it made this like huge hodgepodge nightmare that honestly pretty accurately conveyed what I was feeling in an abstract way. Yeah. This is also vent art, yep. This one has song lyrics in it, which are nearly impossible to make out. I was like really worried that I didn't I like actually really want people to know what I was the most paranoid about because I felt really horrible about it. So I would just do that. I remember there was meaning behind like the triangles on each side of the canvas though. And I won't say what it is, but you can imagine. That's a me, yeah. This is also vent art with song lyrics. And there's actually a photo of Ween in here. All of the lyrics have been screenshots from Genius, yeah. Good, it's supposed to be. That Ween image, I remember thinking, people are 100% gonna know what this is immediately, and nobody did. I was just really paranoid about everything. It's front and center. It's the, like, shadow figures. Yeah, I thought, oh, this is so obvious, everyone's gonna know, and nobody did. But, yeah. And then there's also me. Oh, Stallion! Um, this is another one where I went really insane hyper focus for. This reminds me a lot of the stuff you do, Ken. Like, this is, I think, has some heavy you influence in it. And I remember this one, Garch pulled some inspiration from it as well. And my dad kept bursting in my room and telling me to brush my teeth, but I was so focused on this that I wouldn't, and I just kept drawing it. Like my eyes bloodshot staring at my laptop screen. Well, I did want to brush my teeth because I have a hard time with oral hygiene, but I thought I can't do that because I'm going to lose this focus forever. So I just kept going. The gang, yeah. The silly ween dudes. I don't really have anything to say about this. Other than they look silly. wait, go back. Go back to this one. Oh my god. I like that drawing a lot, but wait, no, not the Bugnish one. The other one. Yes, this one. Oh my god. The guard said like the most hilarious thing, like, oh, I thought that was Bernie Sanders or something. Or like Hillary Clinton. And I was like so shocked by this that after after that, whenever I would send this drawing to servers, I would include the screenshot of Garch saying that because I was so like shocked and like amazed and like just losing my shit over that. Cause how? I don't understand. He speaks and wears glasses. He's wearing pool goggles and a chef hat. I miss the Ween era where they would Jean would always wear a chef hat and goggles, and you know this fucking head cap thing, and it was so dumb. It was so funny, and they just stopped doing that forever after like 3 years. He's not. It's Dean. He hasn't really been doing the videos like for months. You should bring them back. Also, they cost $100. You can pay like $5 to message him though. I said, oh my god, that happened to one of my friends. Like, a friend of a friend, like, paid $5 to message him, and they left him on red. He left him on red. This whole thing has been me rambling about Ween and my English teachers. That's just the way I am. I'm a rambler. Rick from Rick and Morty. No, this is just Boognish. This is when I like started swapping his design over to something a way my friend would draw him, where he just had like a leather jacket and a shirt with himself on it, basically. This was also doodles from like during my finals. I think it was either No, yeah, it was finals. It was definitely finals. These were also from that. You could see some of these on the other screenshot. Yo, mama's so farting. This was Dean. This is a Diener that my friend asked me to draw, and I made his shirt say "sus" for reasons I don't remember. Other than I don't know, I thought it was funny. Ooh, this is more vent stuff, but it's moving this time, and I still think this is cool, and I should do it again, but I just haven't. Yeah, I also listened to a Primus album for the first time while making it. Mud, mud, the noob, mud. Sorry for saying the noob, but that's unrelated. I find it funny that this is the photo of it. Where he's on the fridge. I was having like almost carpal tunnel at the time. Like my hand really hurt from like just having to do a lot of shit for school. I had to do my finals. Now it's basically all on paper. I had to use my hands a lot for that. And so I decided to try something with my left hand. And I tried to really embrace the sketchiness and do I never do realism. I just feel like I'm not accomplishing anything, but I still really like this. Like I'm actually really shocked with how well this turned out. Me, I'm on mud. There's the other mud. There's some other photos. Yeah, because that was the lighting I was doing it in, and it looked a bit more normal that way. It was a lot brighter when I was taking the photo, and also because graphite is a bit shiny, which is annoying. That was me fucking around with poses, more doodles from finals, because I had nothing I could do when I was done for some of them, other than wait. Like you could leave and like actually exit the school building, but you had to wait until like an hour after the final had actually started. So I would have nothing to do for a little while because I would always get done really fast. Ugh. Yeah, these are all just me fucking around with poses. I just feel like I might have just kind of wanted to draw Fenty. Her one sneaker looks really fucked up, but whatever. It's a lot more bulbous. Oh, this one. This is another one of my more popular ones. This got also got a lot of likes on the gram, and it got pinned in the Ween server before there was a huge fallout with that server and a new one had to be made. And like 3 different people told me to put this on a shirt, and I've been thinking about doing that when I get an actual job, which is hopefully soon. I've been too lazy to apply for one. Yeah, I just don't feel like having to write things about myself that I feel like people would know already. Well, like no, people don't know like my address and shit, but I mean like I don't want to have to write my address. That's boring. Yeah, I still like this one. I gotta do it online for the place I'm gonna apply to. I'm applying at a Michaels, mostly for the employee discount because I shop there a lot. They've got a lot of really good stickers, dude. Like, there's just an entire sticker aisle, and I just like every time I go in that sticker aisle, I'm just like filled with whimsy and wonder. Oh, other thing I remembered about this drawing, I finished it at like 4 a.m. And Gene, the guy on the right, his head had a lot of perspective, and I didn't feel like drawing it. I kind of tried with the nose a bit, but it looks really fucked up. So now his nose looks larger than Dean's, which is the guy on the left, but Dean has a way larger nose than him. Oh man, I didn't even notice that. That's how I've been drawing his nose every time. Kid, why'd you have to say that? No one has ever said that to me because, like, a lot of my friends also draw him like that. Entire worldview shattered. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is kind of fitting. Because, like, okay, here's a fun little thing for you. There's a really hilarious contrast in their songwriting, especially in their solo stuff. Like, Gene writes a song about, like, the Vancouver incident, which is this. It was like one of the last shows before Ween broke up for a few years, where he was like blackout drunk, probably on some other stuff, and it was a fucking horrible mess. All of the band walked out, and he just kept playing really badly. He wrote a song about that, and then Dean Ween, in his solo stuff, he writes songs that include lines such as "I'm masturbating in the fitting rooms and stick your finger up my ass, honey." Those are both actual lines. I hope you know that. It's really funny. Oh, this was drawn with crayons. Glitter crayons. Yeah, I was playing around with crayons for a little while. A booger. He looks like he's been up for 3 weeks, which I think is the best way to draw him. Makes him look like he's been awake for 3 weeks straight. Possibly on coke. More crayons. Yeah, I also like this one. I kept fucking up her hand and covering it up and redrawing the hand. And I just kind of gave up after like the third hand. And just let it be. Which I think is a good way to be. Just let things, just let things be. But a fun thing I found out is that shading with crayons is actually really fun. I never use crayons though. I haven't done any crayon stuff since this for some fucking reason. Yeah, I was actually really happy with myself for fucking finishing this. I like for shading just doing whatever I think looks cool and feels fun and is not actually accurate. And that really shows with the hair here. It was really fun. Unintentionally got some good comp going. I wasn't really thinking about the composition, but I got some rule of thirds happening, which is always fun. That's more of a photography thing. She doesn't know what boobs are. She doesn't know what sex is either. That would make her worse. This was a Yeah, this was for art fight. And I still like this one. A decent amount. Yeah. A hee hee giggle. Yeah. You're probably gonna cut like 90% of this stuff out, but please keep the laughing part in. Yeah, that's all for that. This is also Art Fight. Art Fight recently added like a tag feature. I don't remember how recently, but it was just like recent to it was new to me. I thought, okay, I'm gonna look up things I like. And I found this for both the Ween and the Residents. And I thought, well, holy shit, I gotta draw this guy, and I did. And I think it looks pretty nice. Yeah, I have a folder in my Dropbox of just a bunch of cutout letter PNGs, and I really had fun with it here. I remember I was having a really hard time with the coloring because on the character's page, there was there wasn't really stuff that was fully colored in. There was two things, and they had basically the opposite color palette. So I was really scratching my head and just kind of went, this one," and that's what I did. And the person liked it, and that's what matters. I think somewhat. I don't know, man. I've been interviewed like maybe thrice, and one of the times it was by one of the times it was by the police because someone drove full speed into a pole, like a telephone pole outside of our house, and it split in half and exploded, and we lost our power. That was really fucking funny. I have a lot of really cartoony shit happen to me. I was once told that my life is a series of Family Guy cutaway gags. Yeah, oh, Peter, this is just like the time the record store owner was deeply in love with my mom. Yeah, that did happen. Um, I think he started dating someone else. Yeah. I'm still been using it to my advantage though. He like if he gets any wing stuff and he has to tell me now. Yeah, he tells my mom first and then I find out and buy it. Still hasn't happened. He hasn't gotten any ween in since 2016. I've checked. This was a really quick ref I did to put on our fight because I wanted people to be able to draw her because I like her. I don't think so. People usually do not attack me on art fight. I don't know if there's a specific reason, it just kind of doesn't happen. People don't come across me, I guess. I actually got like 3 attacks in the last 15 minutes though. 2 of which were from my friends, but I still appreciated them. Here's Catmint. He's a silly little guy. He's a mink, but he's named Catmint because he's got a little catmint sprout on his head. Boing. I don't know, he's just sitting there. Oh, I remember this, Quackers. This was when we were in VC and talking about Cobble Critters designs, and I think it might have been Hope. Maybe? No, I don't remember who it was. Someone started talking about Quackers, which is like a cracker deck, and I like saw the vision for it, and no one else did, so I drew it. It's just a little critter. I hope you have the photo of it facing forwards too, because that was really funny. He was trying to do the Mickey Moray design, but he kept going back into Japanese stuff, and I was getting really annoyed with that. I was trying to help, and this is a concept I came up with. I was really trying hard to incorporate the color brown into it, but I don't think it worked very well. I'm kind of on this design as a whole, but I did in like 4 minutes, so whatever. This is based on a They Might Be Giants song called Birdhouse in Your Soul. Whenever I listen to it, I always think of this little mechanical bird singing, because it's about like a bird nightlight singing to like little boy that it's a nightlight for. But I have a really hard time with visualizing things in my head. Like I'm really, really bad with it. And every time I try to focus on it more, it vanishes. So this was really hard. And it wasn't entirely accurate, but I still like it. I think it's cute. Harsh noise on the radio. Intentionally crashes the car. I was listening to that. This is the first time I was this is the first time I drew Ianthe after I redesigned her a bit. It's Ianthe, it's an I. Oh, this is my first time using Posca markers. And this is a drawing based on Blue Rosebuds by the Residents. And this is my first time with Posca markers. I was having a really hard time, but it still looks pretty damn good. The rose looks a bit like a chrysanthemum, but I think it looks cool, so it doesn't matter. A chrysanthemum is a lot more like the petal. There's a lot more petals, and they're very thin. They represent like death or whatever, so I guess it might fit with the song a bit because it's this dude confessing and getting like it's like the worst she can say is no, and then like this dude gets absolutely destroyed, and then he like sings the confession again, but his voice is all shaky. This is another art fight thing. My friend's D&D character. Not like less friend, more like acquaintance. Uh, this one is another art fight thing, but for someone I am very close friends with. This is another thing relating to my friend Hypercat. If I ever send this video to you and you're seeing this, hi. Oh, this is the D&D stuff. Yeah, yeah. There's you, Andy. Yeah, the grunter. This is Monty. I actually didn't realize how similar that Monty was to like Chef Bruno, that one character Tufu made. For a really long time, I just thought, okay, I want more skin tone diversity, and I like drawing chef hats when they're flopped over. I just thought the idea of a dwarf chef who fights via frying pans was funny. Like it was just a big coincidence, and I was so embarrassed. I thought, oh no, she's gonna think I'm stealing from her, but that doesn't seem characteristic of Tufu, so she probably doesn't give a shit. This was Apollo's. Rest in peace, forever in our hearts. I wonder how they're doing. I hope they're doing well. I still kind of wish that they had at least said something before leaving, but I still like how this drawing came out. Yeah, a lot did. And the fact that that happened like 3 days after I went like really in depth about some shit about me to them, which I have not done for like anyone, and then they just vanish. That was fucked up. I still really like how this turned out though, and I remember I accidentally deleted the freckle layer because I didn't think there was anything on the layer. And then I had to redraw all the freckles, and that was annoying. True. Yeah, this is also me fucking around with Posca markers and a fucked up little smiley face. It was like I got a I got a hole puncher around that time, and I just hole punched a yellow sticky note and drew a face on it, and then made it look all smudgy and melty. I fucking yeah, I love this. I love this drawing a lot. I don't really have anything to say about it other than random shrapnel. There's more Fenty. Just kind of fucking around and just drawing her a bunch of times because I like doing that. Okay, this was for an art trade. At the time, I wasn't really especially close to this person. His name's Rudy, but now I'm very good friends with them and a bunch of other people. Like, I'm in a friend group with them now, and they're all very cool people. And they'll probably see this video. I'm probably gonna send it to them. Hi guys, I love you. Smiley face. I still love how this turned out, and especially the background. It was like a bunch of I Spy pages and like an arcade and some arcade carpet photos. Oh my dearest boy William, smile for the camera, will you? It's just this photo of this ugly ass kitten and it says, "Oh my dearest boy William, smile for the camera, will you?" This is another mean thing I drew really late at night. This is definitely inspired by the other one I did, but I wanted to draw them from the cat's cradle cover because I really like that album cover. And more them wearing the silly hats that I miss a lot. Bleh. Bleh. That made me a little lightheaded. No, yeah, I don't really have anything to say about this one. Oh, remember, I was doing a bunch of request doodles because I was bored. And I think I misinterpreted something that someone had said that led me to draw that uh, character really liking Beavis and Butthead. Garfield. Oh my god, this is from an Aggie I was doing with a friend named Uji, and for some reason there was a glitch where something that they had drawn wasn't showing up on my end. So I accidentally drew this Garfield over a drawing of the Weezer Blue album cover. I also unintentionally wrote shit over it because I didn't know it was there. This is stuff from the. It's not the whole Aggie, but this is like the other stuff I did. Yeah. Uh, all the purple stuff is mine, but also the thing on the left that has Jupiter written over it is also mine. And then someone goes, the planet? And I say, maybe. And then they draw the planet Jupiter. This is me testing brush pen for the first time. Yeah, I think these are pretty neat looking. Flat, yeah. Little dude. I was trying to mess with the line weight on, like, the drippy syrup antennae. I think it looks cool. It's supposed to be melty, yeah. Melty and drippy. Oh, the return of this. Yeah, Boognish was here. Like, cigar packages. Yeah. That was really good. The CD adventure. Yeah, this is for the Cobble Critters contest. I feel like the actual like line work was really messy because I rushed this really hard, but I think it's cool. And while doing the background, I accidentally like made the beach like really like dark or red and evil looking. And I said it was the FNAF 4 beach episode. I kept calling it because I thought it was really fucking funny. Yeah, I got either second or third. I don't remember. I thought Elefancy was gonna win just because of the Pokemon art style imitation. And I was gonna the guy who got pissed over it, yeah. It was that guy. I was like I thought Garch was gonna draw it just because he I thought Garch was gonna pick that one because he liked that guy's art and it looked like Pokemon art style. Did you ever see it? Because it looked like exactly like Murkrow, but with a gnome hat on. Yeah, he deleted it right before he left. That was quite the quinky dink. Oh, this is when we were doing an Aggie with Tufu. Yeah, and I was talking about the garbage ape with Tufu. Of like really insane Heathcliff comics, yeah. The garbage ape was Tufu's for anyone who may be unaware. I did not draw that garbage ape, I did everything else. Alright, this is the one from when we were both doing drawings based on this album. If I remember finding out that it's apparently supposed to pronounce like super ugh or super o instead of a, which I thought it was. But I want to talk about this one a little bit because I actually do remember the what caused some of the stuff happening here. I very distinctly remember. You know, you see like the white squares in the top corner? Those were drums. Those were drums. Those specifically were drums. And then the yellow circles with the like orange squares in them and most of the yellow smiley faces. One of them was not because I forgot the correlation. They were like this really acoustic part of it. And then the like drawing of Fenty on a sticky note. Oh, also, all of this is just like all Fenty, pretty much all of it. The drawing of her on that sticky note where she just looks kind of a little happy and she's got like some white outline happening. That was the very end where it was like beach noises that just kind of faded away and the album ended. Yeah, that album it has a really good way of just making your brain feel like you got cleaned out completely. I think that also might have been because I like genuinely went into a meditative state while doing this. I was just like it was like a meditative state and I was like going as fast as I could to try and keep up, just throwing all my supplies everywhere cuz I didn't have the time to put them back. But I still think this looks yeah, I still think this looks really cool. Another Mandy drawing. Yeah, this was from the first day of the school year while I was bored and had nothing to do. This is another Fenty drawing where she's got three arms and is wearing a Hanatarash shirt, which for the unaware is a Japanese harsh noise slash, or it was a Japanese harsh noise slash danger music band, and they're well known because of how fucking insane the main guy, Ayamantaka, who's also the guy from Boredoms who made the album that the other drawing was based on, how insane he would be on stage. Like the one show everyone talks about, the audience had to sign waivers before it. He drove an excavator through the stage. He almost cut his leg off with a power saw, chopped a random dead cat he found in half. Um, and the show never got ended. Oh, wait, also he would throw panes of glass at the audience. That was a common thing, but he did a lot during that. And the show didn't end until he lit a Molotov cocktail and threatened to throw it. Yeah, I felt very intelligent for that. Uh, there's yep, Daisy. And I remember since Apollo was gone, I just reused the border for Apollo's and made it orange. Oh, this was the drawing of me and Ween I did, and right as I finished it, my uncle texted me that he got Ween tickets, and that shows in exactly a week, baby! Perfect timing. One more week, and I will begin my voyage to Stinky City. Oh my god, yeah! I've been thinking about that a lot, because when it's over, I'm just gonna feel so empty. I don't know if I'll ever be sated after that, though. I'll just be like, okay, I need to see every Ween show now. If I didn't have the like desire to do that already, it's gonna be worse. Oh, I remember I drew this during D&D and D, and I was cutting out letters from this like grocery store holiday deals flyer. And I got really mad because the glue was so visible. Yeah, it does look really sparkly. That was also like I think I drew this before the meaner on that we just talked about. I tried to get a little bit of shading going around the like gums area, but I don't know how well it picks up. Yeah. That was like my first time using these colored hard tip brush pens I got, and I fucking love them. I'm not really happy with this one, but hey, it's whatever. This is another Dean Ween drawing because he has funny proportions. That is all I'll say. He has funny proportions. Yeah, I did that one pretty late at night, and I think that's part of why I don't like it. Anyway, this is just this is a little creature that I also did before bed, and I think he's very silly and cute looking. Oh, this is yeah. I did like the first half, and then just I had really lost my steam by then and just kind of stopped. Yeah, I was doing that. Like I was not doing it for a few days, then doing like the last 3 days in one day, and I was just like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. That always happens whenever I try to do like one of those like monthly Tober drawing things. I always just lose everything after like 2 weeks. But I still like this silly wizard. It's a fruit, strawberry, flower. Oh! This is the start of the. This is the start of the album Boognish stuff. This is the first ones. This is an idea kind of taken from my friend Rudy, who I previously mentioned. Uh, he had done a bunch of done a bunch of designs, and then they said that he was going to redo them, and was like, okay, I want to see what your guys' pot and guavas would be like, and so I did these, and it all just spiraled out of control, and now I think about them 24/7. I've got some more designs I've been working on that'll be posted whenever I get my new phone. A small bird. I actually found out later that's not his persona. That's just a character he has. I thought it was, but I was wrong. And there's a larger bird, rabbit. This rabbit's legs are kind of fucked up because I don't know how to draw rabbits. I only know how to draw like cat legs. Perhaps. I mean, he's not as much as like a visual artist. He does pixel art for like Starbound modeling, of course, but he doesn't. He's not really much of an art guy other than music. Dog. This is a dog. No, this is not me dreaming. That was just me in bed. Because I was having a really bad night. Wow, so far we've come. A month and 3 weeks. I just think the phrase "God bless America" is really funny. I use it all. Oh, whoa! I remember I did this out of spite. I was. I don't remember why. I think it was like a few days earlier. My friend asked about the ugliest animal, and I said the deep sea telescope fish. I love them, but they're really fucked up looking. And then I was like showing them to some other friends, and then I have this friend named Squink. Hi, Squink, if you're watching, and their friend asked them for sea creatures to make Splatoon characters based on, and they said the deep sea telescope fish, and they were like, "Oh my god, it's so ugly! I hate it! I can't look at it!" And the only ones they were doing were like squid, octopi, and sea bunnies, which made me mad because there's more sea creatures than that. And I was like, "Fuck you! I'm doing this!" And I did it, and I think it looks great. And then I like did some colors and touch ups digitally, and then I remember I went back and then I colored it back in digitally again. I still really like this design. More Ween drawings. I just like drawing them a lot. The Resident. I remember we were in BC after D&D or something, and I said I'm building a Resident, and I think you got really confused, and then my brother had to send a photo of the Resident because I was too busy building him. The hat was really hard, and the hat is the only thing I actually did. Like the bouncy ball already existed, and I just made a hat and glued it. Yeah, that's just a bouncy ball that I own. Yeah, there he is. He's sitting on a shelf right now. Oh, this one I also drew this while listening to an album for the first time, and I think it looked cool. Was abusing the fuck out of this like tool called like fine lines handwriting, and then using the glitch tool to make it really spread out and choppy. And there was what it looked like before the effects. And there's Ianthe. That was a reference I did for her. Pretty fast, but it works. She is the most normal character I have. Oh god! So I was trying to draw something with my mouse to convey a point, and I drew that horrible fucking creature on the right, like in like 2 seconds. I did like the like weird head shape first, and then me and my friends all started laughing like so fucking hard over it that I decided to draw the rest of him. And I was doing this with a mouse in like 3 seconds, and like he's just like part of the lore now. He's just a thing that exists. Wait, I gotta send you something my fucking friend Rudy made. And the other part was just I decided to like try and draw him a little more, also with my mouse. So it looks a little wonky. All right, you can include this in the video or not. I don't care, but I want you to see it at least. Now he's Clover. I kept saying like he kept saying like King of Clubs looking ass, and like laughing my ass off over that phrase. I drew with a black outline, and then I said I don't remember if either one of my friends said it or if I said it, but we somehow got to the conclusion of making him gay, and I just made the outlines rainbow. All right, anyway, that's all. This is me doing some figure drawing practice. I was having a really fucking hard time with the head perspective, and I think that shows. I'm really bad with perspective, especially on heads. But I'll get there. And also the eyes are watching. I also don't know how to draw guitars either. Especially the way he was leaning. And his head was like completely different from the rest of the body. It was this horrible angle. And I thought, okay, this will be a challenge. I'll do it. More Ween. For anyone who's watching that does not know me very well,
I have a disorder that is, and I like ween a lot, and that makes me insane. Uh, I don't really remember if there was anything that led me to draw this, other than I just felt like drawing this image because I thought it was silly. But something I do remember about the process behind this is that I listened to "The Girls of Porn" by Mr. Bungle around 15 times in a row while drawing it. That song's like 5 minutes long too. It's not like really short. Yeah, and that song just has actual porno noises in it. It's a really good song though. This was another doodle. I don't remember if there was like a real. I don't remember when I drew this or like if there's a real reason. No, I remember. I drew this in photography class because I had nothing to do. And um yeah, and I think it looks pretty cool. That is all. He's like, yeah, yeah. She's so crazy. Love her. So like, can't take her any. No, It was like, girl, would you stop experiencing incomprehensible horrors for 30 seconds? Can't take her anywhere. Yeah, shake my head, my head. This one with the Shinola one, like right after. I don't remember what compelled me to draw it, but yeah. Oh, these. Yeah, this is from a long time ago, but I sent it again kind of recently. Uh, this is just me doing pixel shit and drawing my Transformers character named WaveNet. And this is this was a recent pixel thing with more Fenty. Her head is cocked to the side and her eyes are like shaded all the way in. Oh, this one's my profile picture right now. And I'm still incredibly happy with this. I fucking love this one. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll do this as a quick doodle, and then like 4 hours later. And this was like the last thing I drew on my phone before it broke. Oh, I don't think I told anyone this yet. At least in Cobble Critters, but I had gotten that new phone, and then 2 days later, while Black Friday shopping with my brother and a friend, I dropped it, and the screen doesn't turn on anymore. So now I have to wait until like the 5th or something for a new phone, and it's currently the 3rd. I've been without a phone for like a long ass time, which is really inconvenient and annoying because I can't listen to music a lot of the time now. But so the one on the left is Fenty, she's my character, and then the one on the right is my friend's character. I can't remember her name, but she had like this normal girl name. I can't remember. I'm sorry, Weasel. I can't remember her name. I'm sorry again. But I had to edit Ween out of the original image, and then do you have like do you have the original? Like, cause I'll send it to prove my point. Hold on. I think I might have sent it. Yeah. Whoa. Oh shit. Oopsie. Okay, something funny just happened. Sorry about that. So yeah, I drew them first, and it took a really long time to try and get the like fucking I can't remember the term, but like the dotty effect, that was really hard. And then I had to edit them out, and then I had to color it in a specific way and move the coloring and like remove all the lines from the coloring, and I had to like fix some of the logo, and it was a whole thing, but I think it looks really fucking good. Yeah, I remember. I had been wanting to do something like this for months, and I never had the opportunity because I didn't have another evil cat girl to draw with her. And then my friend Weasel was like, "This is my cat girl character who eats people to stay young," and I was like, "Oh my god, I could do the thing now!" And I did the thing. Ooh, this is early. Yeah, looping back around. This is also from January, and I distinctly remember this one because I listened to Quebec for the first time while drawing it, and that was when everything started happening with me. This is like when I was in that transition period out, and I'm still really fucking happy with this. I've been wanting to redesign this character, not like totally redesign, but like touch it up, and then also go back and edit this a bit. And I'm, for the most part, like incredibly happy with this, and I consider it maybe the best thing I've made. I made it over like maybe like 2 or 3 days in MS Paint, and I kept having to save the image and start editing the new one. So I would like they would like to make up for the lack of layers in MS Paint and shit. And I did the two things separately and then edited them together also in MS Paint. And it took me like maybe 2 or 3 hours just to color in the background because I had to get in all those little spaces. I remember I recorded part of it for some reason. And there's like 2 hours of just me doing that. It was less. I just thought people would give a shit, and more. I need to show everyone how annoying this was. These are still sketch versions of it though. Yeah, I'm still really happy, especially with the chrysanthemums on there. Those are more chrysanthemums. They're really fun to draw, I think. I can see it. Banana bunches. He's been laying down. He's laying down in a bunch of banana bunches. But yeah, this is still like a sketch version of it. Okay, yeah, this is the finished version. The text was really weirdly hard to do, and I just kind of gave up and made it stretch. Vita proceeded. Etiam and morte vita. I don't really know how to read Latin properly, but that's what it says. It's the red part first and then the purple part. It's supposed to be upside down. I think it's upside down, but it looks backwards because of that. Maybe. No, it was supposed to be. I think it was supposed to be like upside down and backwards. Like maybe I don't remember specifically. It doesn't matter. It is. That's what it is. Whatever. I think it's kind of cooler that way. The only gripe I have with this drawing is some of the lines from like the fire. I think they look a little too nonsensical. Yeah, on the purple half, some of the lines with that I'm not happy with, but I don't think it's that big of a deal because this took a long ass time, and I think it's like the coolest thing I've ever done. And I like had some shit with the colors, like the dead part was gray, but like the part that still shows up on the other part is purple. Then he's purple, and the part that shows up on the other one is gray, and yada yada. And there's like the petals fluttering down, and the fire like burning around the edges of the red part. It's something I am really bad at being too good at. Attention to detail. I always need everything to be like perfect. I don't know, man. But at least it makes this look really awesome. A small price to pay for cool artwork. Yeah. Yeah, this is the other one. Whee! Well, this is a little gif I made for New Year's. It might have been the first thing and sent in the year 2022. Yeah. I'm a special somebody. Alright, this is a doodle page. I think I was just bored and wanted to draw. How long have we been doing this for? Like 2 hours? Alright, well, this was fun. I feel a little bad for rambling so much because you have more work to do. Yeah. I hope you enjoy doing this for everyone else. You can do it! Yeah! Alright, I take a little bow and I back away. Goodbye, Ken.
All right. I do. Oh my god. I remember this one. Yes. Oh my god, that was like 2 semesters ago. Wait, no, one. Yeah, just one. I looked at a picture of a fish, and I I just took my pen and I was like, all right, I'm gonna draw it, and I did. So I basically I drew all like the values after outlining it, which I probably should have done the reverse, but this was like the first assignment I think of the class. I was just like getting, I just wanted to do something. After I finished it, I erased parts of it to get that kind of shine because, fishes be slimy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This was like during like a class where you viewed a lot of animation, like from over the years. I was like inspired to make like a kind of simple character. I mean, I wasn't really thinking about it. I was actually drawing fish because this character stems from the fish shape. Um, so I had fish on the brain, and I was like, oh, alligator. So I was like, let's make a fun character that kind of scampers around. Yeah, I was trying to see how I could get kind of like expression with like a fish face. Oh yeah, that one. I was reading Jimmy's story for the Crobble Critters thing, and I was like, all right, what if like we see like kind of an artist depiction of the beast in the story rather than like, the stuff that Garch always draws, like what they actually look like. So I was like, what if I make something like, I guess like if someone like hears a tale about a dragon and they're like, all right, I'm gonna try to draw that from memory or from what I understand of it. So I was kind of going for that. Yeah. I didn't feel like putting in all the time to make all the colors of a pinata, so I was just like, fuck it, whatever. I'm gonna make it yellow, whatever. Thank you. Yeah, the neck's pretty like. Oh yeah, this one. This is more recent. This was like a study on camels. I think camels. Yeah. I was just trying to understand the bone structure and then like the kind of weight. But I think my focus was more on the face for a bit. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how they move. Oh yeah, this is the culmination of the multiple studies I did. I was like studying the monkey and then the camel. This is based off of a Mother Goose story, or whether I don't remember the or one of Aesop's fables. I can't remember, but like the monkey, like this camel comes on, and he's like making a fool of himself after the monkey did a big job. I think the moral of the story is like don't make a fool of yourself, which is stupid. I don't agree with the message because they kill the camel afterwards, but um yeah. I really like the monkey and the Lion King in the back layer. That was like a bonus. I didn't have to draw that, but like I just did and I liked it. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The monkey. The monkey. This is kind of tricky because they have weird skull shapes. So I had to experiment around and see what worked. I really like this one. Like I have two friends who are really big into salmon mechs, so I was like, I want to make my own salmon mechs from my understanding of them. And the part I love about this is that Sam Sam like says, "Look, Sam," when it should be "Look, Max." But I really think I like apparently that does happen in the comic like once or twice. Just even funnier to me. So I was really happy that enhanced. I feel like the entire comic. They always say some weird shit and then they shoot things. That's all I know. Oh my. Completely. These are all my friends' characters, and I took extreme liberties. The one on the far right, in the background is my character with the big frown. I uh I wanted to like draw everyone's because usually when I'm like in like a role play with a bunch of people, I like to draw everyone's characters sometimes. Or if I feel bad if I select only one. So I was like, I'm gonna draw all of them, but really bad. So I did that. Oh, and this is for Art Fight. Someone had this like janitor character who was like trapped in this place since they were born. And I was like, I don't know, that really like struck me. It was really interesting. And the character design was also very interesting. So I was like, I think this was pretty much the sketch. I didn't even really um like do another layer. I was just like, I'm just gonna do the first thing. And it actually kind of this is earlier in the summer. This kind of set up the rest of I feel like my semester or the year of kind of sticking with my first sketches. No, this is just someone's character. I don't even. Are you familiar with Art Fight? Okay, yeah. This is some like I love hitting the random like the site gives you an option to go to a random page like a random character by someone. So I just love doing that just to see what I get. Ah, yeah. This is political. I got political for a moment. Um, do you know what this is of? The middle is Japan. Could you? Yeah, I'd like you to try to figure it out. I'll give you those two things. That's it. Okay. So this is when North Korea had a history of shooting missiles over Japan for fun. Now they're testing out missile length, like how far they can shoot them, distance, whatever. And they shoot them into the Sea of Japan or the Sea of China if you're funky. Um, and so they've been doing this for years, like for a long time. And like recently, the US and South Korea were like, oh no, 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 no. And they shot missiles back into the sea near North Korea for some reason. I don't know if it was like a flex or like, like, hey, stop that. I think that was the aim, but they shot them also over Japan. So, everyone, poor people in Japan are just, like freaking out or like, like, really? And the Sea of Japan is like crying, like fucking crying. So I tried to illustrate that, and I kind of like gave North Korea's reaction to that. I don't actually know what their reaction was, but um, I was thinking about maybe also adding China in there, but I feel like that would have been detracting a bit. Yeah, so I had to kind of warp the um the perspective a bit. I tried to make it so like it's possible it could be kind of correct if you since the camera is like funky, but maybe I should have like extended the island a bit towards the camera on the right side. I don't know. Yes, exactly. Also, Japan looks like shit. But I wasn't trying to be accurate. It's a political cartoon. Also, Mount Fuji is supposed to be on Japan, not So if you go back a sec, Mount Fuji is like there's just massive mountains surrounding these places in this cartoon. This is not accurate whatsoever. Anyways, this is the same situation. Um, like they're eyeballing North Korea, who's up to no good, and they're like, and then Japan's just there, but they're not really paying attention to Japan. They're like, oh, whatever. Yeah, I mean, like, what do you think that is? What could that be? What could that be representing? Yeah, like, no way I was gonna go in and do all this stuff. Like, that's what you get. You know what it is. You know what it is. Oh, this. I can't talk a lot about this one, but this is I was doing some concept art. I really love this. Like, I was experimenting with this for like an hour. I was having so much fun just messing around with colors and blending modes. Um, the content is not mine. It was someone I'm working with, and um, I was just messing with color, seeing what kind of background I could get, and then also kind of messing with the colors of the other stuff too. And I I really like this one. Really? I don't remember doing videos. It's okay. Oops. Loading. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That was this year? Oh my god. Yeah, no, that was probably like I was really impressed with myself. Like I was like, how can I book? I had to do something, and I was like, all right, let me just draw all these shitty characters and make a move, and then I'll show up and like scare them away. Um, what? Wait, I'm sorry. What? Where? That is not. Oh my god, that is not Hitler. No. Oh my god. I was thinking more like like Squidward, but like I wasn't. They're not. They're just random. That's like someone with their pants like super high up. No, it's a chiaroscuro. I don't know how to say it. It's like extreme lighting. That's all it is. Oh my god, you're kind of right. But anyways, this was this is an experiment of like rigging a bunch of stuff in making something in like After Effects. And I was surprised at what I could do. This is like I think one of the first big things I did in After Effects, and I was like, oh shit, I kind of have it together. Yeah, one of my favorite things was giving each of them individually a lot of character. There's something happening here that I don't know if anyone has ever noticed. All right, last thing, just look in the dead center in the background. Just look, just watch. Oh, oh my God, yes. Is this the version that has like the audio? Oh yeah. No, it's no, no. I don't need to hear it. It's okay. It's okay. We're good. Oh yeah. This is my friend. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm good. Yep.
Change image. This is Lily. Steal.
Yeah, my Spanish speaking friend, like, I just had the idea, like, what if we got like, I don't know, like, I just like gibberish in another language. So we studied like like Hispanic like announcers, like baseball announcers, and we just copied the style, or he copied the style, and just went nuts. And then my other friend is doing like far off, like like you did it kind of shit, like in a video game. This was afterwards. I was doing something a little more complex with motion, but still keeping it simple. Like I wanted to be like like this is why they don't have like running animations. They just go. You know, I was really, realizing the power of having like two frames to work with in terms of like two drawings to work with. Oh, that's a little that doesn't make sense, but that's okay. Wrong side, but that's okay. Nobody needs to know about that. I mean, like, it was really interesting, like, figuring out how to make this work, because I knew what I wanted to do, but it was just, like, making it work. Like, the part where, like, it goes into the sky, like, the ball's not moving, but the rest of the world is. It's just, like, a cool illusion to make. Oh, yeah. I kind of wanted to make more silly characters again, but go even further. Oh yeah, there's a guy there. They also all have unique motion, which I spent way. This is definitely like 90% of the project. Like all these people. I don't regret it. I really liked making the monkey. The monkey is, I think, my favorite part. It's next to the fish. So one or the eel. It's to the left. One to the left. That's the monkey. Yes. Just going absolutely monkey shit. A few more is fine. We can do them all. No, we'll do a few more. Oh my god, that's awesome. I will. Hell yeah. Oh, this is before I did the little running guy. It's really hard to see. Is it normal? Is this supposed to be like this? Oh, that's why. Yeah, okay. This is me experimenting with fish. I was like, how do I draw a fish, but like cartoony? So I tried it and I was like, oh, this is fun. This is a good like little mini study. Hold on. What what is the fish saying? Can we like rotate that again? I'm fishy fish. My special ability is showing shit. See? See? I don't understand. And there's a present. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, I think he was saying shit. He's no, that's definitely special ability. That is something. Yes, don't worry about it. This is my shorthand, okay? SH showing shit. See? Like, what is it? Like, I guess is a lead in. Sometimes actually this makes sense because sometimes I'm like, when I'm writing notes, I'll be like, as a kind of filler, I'm like, and what I'm talking about is, I don't know. Maybe that was just one of those. The world may never know. Yeah. Oh, this is on the right was me figuring out like the angle of it all. Oh yeah, I was trying to like get up a different angle. And then there's the front-facing fish. I like that one a lot. Ooh, more fish. That's left remnants from my notes. There's me doing more fish. This is, I think, after I did this, after or before I did the big salmon. Oh, it was after because I was dissatisfied with how I didn't really push it to do anything. Like it was just a fish. I was like, all right, let me mess around, give it some character. God, what the fuck is that like middle one? It's like a bird. I don't even know. I think it's just a fish. And there's the Minecraft fish. God, Lord save us. It's a dog eat dog world out there, including fish. Now this is more. This is like a bonus I did in addition to the like the rendering of the salmon. This is me like I was trying hard not to just render the thing as is. So the middle one is the first one, ironically. Oh, I think I did the top one first, but the anyways, the middle one I did, and I was like, okay, that looks great, but what I just tried to render it exactly. So I was like, all right, let me try to make it less. Let me try to make it but shitty. See below, which this is definitely an exercise in trying to give less of a shit. And it was surprisingly hard. Definitely had to just focusing on the outline, I think, is what really got me for like making an exaggerated sort of rendering of something. No, there's no writing there. It's just that's just like texture. Yeah, the secrets. That's a sea. They're called like sea slug bunnies. It's like a kind of slug, but it looks like a bunny. They're very cute. A bunny onion. I love this drawing so much. Oh my god. This is one of my favorite characters I've ever made, and like one of my favorite drawings I've ever made. Just like it explains everything about her. So what are the little kids doing? Yeah, there you go. That's all you need to know. Yeah, that one just Bing chilling. Yeah. Same character as last time. And then another character who has a kind of like dull facial expression. And I didn't feel like doing like a lineup, so I just drew them floating next to this character. Like they have a similar energy, so I was like, oh my god, hey. Anyways, um, yeah. At the top was I drew her as a fish. And I love it. I think it's fantastic. It's a fantastic. Uh, this character is so expressive without being like. I mean, yeah, she's very complex. And then there's also just a face that I drew like to look like it's smiling and frowning, or screaming and also like enjoy. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. My notes in this class were like, I. It was so much fun. Yeah. So same character still. Now there's a new one in the midst. So the lore of this character is that nothing good ever happens to her. Well, I mean, and when they do, nothing good happens to her, but like it's not. It's her fault. But on this occasion, it was not her fault because her day starts out and she's walking to class. It's the day of the important exam that only has one backup day, and the street floods and she gets swept into it. Oh, she gets struck by lightning first, twice. And then it rains so much that like the streets get flooded and she gets swept to the next town. Um, and then as she's walking back, she gets into one of those things where like like when you're walking on the sidewalk with someone and like you keep on stepping in the same direction, and you can't. That happened for like 30 minutes, and so she couldn't get to school. No, it just happened for 30 minutes. Yeah, no, but they were both like kind of like waiting to say something, so like nothing really happened. Like they were both very stubborn about it, and that's like this character in a nutshell. Yeah, that one. That's her like nemesis, but he's like super nice. Like he's only ever done good things, but she's like, I fucking hate this guy. Ruined my life. Here she's again. Yeah, this is like she's so much fun to draw, and I was like, I need her to be pissed more than she already is, and I think a lot of these drawings in this class were like it wasn't even like it was like a lecture class. This was all during lectures, and I think a lot of it was like I don't want to just render stuff. I want to make stuff that's full of expression, but I didn't want to have to make it perfect. So because that was just gonna make me be a perfectionist about it, and it wasn't gonna get done. So I wanted to draw shitty stuff that still worked. I think that I mean it really that like mantra like has really done wonders for me. I feel like, especially this year. Yeah, more of the same character. This is the same character. Yeah, I was just experimenting with like expressions. I don't think these are any good, but that's okay. How about we do like two more? Oh yes! Oh my god, baseball Barrett ball. I love. Oh my god, I've been like wanting to talk about this one for a while, like for a while. Yeah, like why don't you like read this? What do you think is happening here? Like with the main. Okay. Okay, so what's happening here is that this is baseball Barrett Ball's meet and greet, and he's like a baseball. So like those are baseball lines. That's not like evil lines. That's just like that's like baseball stuff on him. And everyone's lined up, and I want to draw shitty people again, so they're just like they just look they're just fucked up, all of them. They're just waiting on lines in various ways. But in the back, we get a little story because there's like a soccer ball guy with a baseball bat who's pissed off. So, we learn something about, maybe there was some beef or something. Who knows? We'll never know. Oh, who knows? Maybe you're right. Like they sat down and it all just like came out. Okay. Hope it's good. Ah, okay. This is a thumbnail for I was doing some like I want to do a movie poster. So I did it on one of my favorite like anime things. Just Madoka Rebellion. A very good movie. Um and I was workshopping something. I wanted to come up with something um cool. I think this is a little after I finished like thumbnailing ideas. This is me experimenting with color using watercolor. Like this is actually a really fun little thing that happened because uh this is me. This is a period of time where I'm like, I'm like, okay, I don't want to, be perfect anymore. I want to embrace just doing whatever, taking risks, doing stuff on a whim. And so I actually had a bag where I just had like a big like tin, and I had my watercolors and I had my brushes just on the ready in case I ever wanted to do watercolor. And I was like, I'm gonna do watercolor just after this class finished. And so I got water from like the water fountain, and I just did watercolor for like 30 minutes after this class, and it went really well. I mean, it doesn't look great, but I don't care. The fact is that I did watercolor just whenever I wanted to, and that was a big moment for me. All right. Yeah, you've got a lot in your hand, and that's okay. Yeah, and I feel like I said enough. Yeah, thank you for doing this. This is great. Like, what a great idea. I mean, yeah, we do a little. I mean, we've done one reflection back, but that was more on like jokes and memes and stuff. So it's cool to kind of see a big reflection on like the creative side of things and where we all are. All right. Good luck. All right. Goodbye.
Boom, boom, boom. Hi. Okay. No better time than the present to start. Alright, I did this one back in April. It was one of the first things I shared to the channel. I was, everybody was in VC, fiddling around on r/place, and I was really bored of it, and I was like, hey, I can try my own r/place, whatever, and I kind of did that, and I put little references to, I think, everyone who was in VC at the time. There's Tiddly, there's Apollo, there's Tufu, and there's Andy, and there's Jimmy. Oh yeah, and there's Eve. Yes. Okay, this one, I told myself I was gonna sit down for 6 hours straight and just draw. And I was ambitious, like, oh, I'm gonna try to fill in every single pixel. I did not fill in every single pixel. I had a lot of fun with this though. I learned a lot, yeah. And it's so crammed of stuff that it's overwhelming in the best of ways. This one I did for a someone I met on Discord named Amine, and uh, I don't remember how exactly it came up, but I decided I'd make them a profile picture, and this is what I made for them. It didn't come out particularly great in when after being uploaded to Discord, and it kind of just made it kind of smeary, but I think it looks okay here. This one, I was down bad with the COVID-19, and I kind of just did this over the course of a few days, seeing what I could do. I had tried already just like taking a picture of my face and drawing on top of it. I've done it a few times at this point, but this is the first time I'm like happy with what came out, like to the point where I can just be like, okay, yeah, this is good, or at least good enough. This one, this was my first time making a color palette that had multiple brightnesses in the colors I chose. Previously, I had used only colors that were all of the same brightness, due to how I was essentially writing out hex codes for colors, simply because I feel more comfortable choosing colors by like writing out a hex code than I do with a color picker. Like I have more comfort in finding, like, oh yeah, I like the purple hashtag 402080, but I'd have a hard time finding on a color picker. So I was essentially just using the same numbers over and over in the hex codes. Like everything was either hashtag 402080 or hashtag 804020, or like it had the same brightness values used over and over again. And that was part of it was because I just didn't feel ready for the complexity of brightness differences. But clearly, by the time I did this, I was ready, because it it felt really good to draw like this. And I felt like writing a message, think actively. I've been working on a project for months now. I I used my iPad to take a video of me making faces, and I figured, okay, I'm gonna split this out into different images and draw on each of those images individually, and then merge it back into a video file and share that when I'm ready. And it's a lot of work. I still have another 60 frames to go, and I haven't touched it for months because I kind of dread it. It's just a whole slog of work, but I'm gonna do it. And this is from when I was figuring out how to split it into different images. I had accidentally kind of just exported a dithered GIF. Or initially, what I'd done is I'd exported a dithered GIF of the first frame of the video, and I liked it, so I changed it to an indexed PNG and messed with the color palette a little bit, and then I found out when I liked especially how it looked when I zoomed out to a specific zoom level on my image editor. So essentially, this is a subsampled, dithered, paletted photo that's been drawn on. Yeah. Ah, okay. This one was a little bit of a challenge from somebody in a Discord server. They told me to try drawing what I thought strength was. And this is what I came up with. Strength is going against the grain. And it can only exist amongst weakness, because it's relative. I don't know. I'm not sure if I probably wouldn't draw the same thing today as I did back in July, but I think it's an interesting thing to look at all the same. Okay, so for this one, there was a period of a few months where I would just like go out at 8 p.m. and walk just because I needed to get out of the house. And this is a photo I took with my flip phone that I then took down to like just I think 3 or 4 colors and then drew on top of. And I think at this point this was when I was like really into One Nation Under a Groove. Which is why I had like where the funk ends, you begin, and all that stuff. I don't know. I had fun with this. For this one, I was out walking, and I saw these 2 people sitting, and I thought it looked really picturesque. And so behind their back, I took a photo of them. And then after that, after I eventually came back from my walk out in photography and all that stuff, I came back home, I turned it to an indexed PNG, changed some of the colors to gray, and then I drew a question mark in the center. I like how it came out. Okay, this is also for me out photographing the neighborhood. This was graffitied onto a power box, I think. I like this. It's very. Whoever did this, it's very eye-catching. I don't know if it's a result of the paint, whoever did it, or a little bit of both, but it catches the eye a lot. Yeah. This was awfully close to a poster, a laminated poster, asking for somebody to snitch about the murder of their 16-year-old son. It was kind of sad. Oh. This is also, I think that was from this is from that same walk. There's a little, I guess it's a creek, maybe it's more like a sewage creek on the side of the road. Oh, and this is that laminated poster I mentioned. Yeah. And this is another graffitied power box. I like it's. Yeah, I like this. Yeah. And this is a photo of Easy Street. Cue the Annie music. This is a photo of a flower. This is a photo of no trespassing, motherfucker. um, this was. This was. Yeah, this was just right outside somebody's doorway. Yeah. And this I found, just sticky to a wall. And I felt like taking a picture of it. Oh, okay. So for this, I had taken a photo of a building that had been graffitied, and then I made it an indexed PNG where the only colors were anything between red and gray. And this is what came out. Well, yeah, this, and I drew on top of it a little bit too. I like what I did with the sky. Yeah. And then this is the original photo that I had edited. This is a photo of my mother, sister, and stepfather walking that I changed the color palette of and drew on top of. Yeah. I think my favorite part of this actually is the upper left. I like how like intricate and almost sparkly it is. Okay. This one I had done for the Cobble Critter contest. This was my first time trying to sit down and really animate movement, and it shows. It really shows, because it's shitty. I didn't even draw on top of the previous frame for each next frame. I was kind of just eyeballing the movement, and it turned out very wobbly. And I remember distinctly being up kind of late, just like, I need to finish this before the deadline, and it wasn't even in the top 3, and I was so sad but also not surprised. But doing this I learned a lot though, and without having done this I wouldn't have done maybe even any animation after, so I'm happy I did this. Yeah. Speaking of animation, this is a bouncy ball. I remember distinctly I was watching the Animator Survival Kit videos, and I remember distinctly, I forgot his name, but the guy who made Roger Rabbit work, the guy who was featured in the Animator Survival Kit videos, go figure, saying, oh yeah, the horrible bouncing ball example. And a little bit after watching that, and I decided, okay, well, I'm going to try a horrible bouncing ball, and this happened to be for the first day of Scrawltober too. It just all matched up, so this is what I made. And then this is me. A friend of mine said, Amane actually, the one I made the profile picture for, said, okay, now do it bouncy, and I did it bouncy. So this I just sat down for like 4 hours and made an abhorrently bouncy ball, and this GIF happens to loop. Okay, this one genuinely took me about 40 hours. This one was painful. I enjoyed it, but like I enjoyed making it and I learned, but it was painful. I just, each of these frames took me about 30 minutes, and that was if I was being quick. It was really difficult. There's no frame interpolation here or anything. Everything was just all manual. I was doing this for my cousin a cousin of mine asked me, "Hey, I need animations for a music video I'm doing. Want to help out?" And I said, "Sure." And so I said, "Okay, I'm gonna do this for part of a part of the music video," and I did. And I'm sorry to say that he didn't even use this, which is I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Yeah. And now I'm gonna go through the rest. Those were just a few that I chose to get me started. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so this is all the way back from March. This is the very first thing I posted to the creative channel. Eve had a smiley, and I wanted to join the smiley gang, so I did. And well, things progressed a little, and I started trying my own stuff. This is I don't know what to call it. It's a scary smiley face with pink hair. No pronouns though. No. Yeah. This one, I just sat down for hours and drew lines over and 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 over again. This is what came out. The name Ave Malaria is from Tufu. And here's how it progressed. It started out little thing, and then more thing, and then little yellow things too, and blue, and now there's some pink and purple and name, and then it goes to bubble. And this is, I don't really know. I like it though. I'm not sure why, but I do. This is a ghost with a belly button. Oh, this is this one I kind of just did whatever with. There's my name, there's some eyes, there's some more eyes. I think that's a tongue. Hey yo, all that junk. This one, I started off trying to draw one of my grandmothers, and I ended up with this. I like it though. This one, I was away from my sister for a while. I had moved with a couple of my grandparents, and I had an idea for a project. Hey, I'm gonna make her a CD, and it's gonna have a cover of Hey Jude on it that I did because her name is Jude, and I'm gonna sing it, and it needs a CD label, and this is that CD label. And this, I just wasn't feeling all that good, so I kind of just drew a whole bunch of, like, I was going a little crazy. When I was finally drawing in grayscale, I just kind of haphazardly wrote things, and I don't know, I felt like I had to get stuff out, so this was me doing that. And this, somebody asked me to draw some character, and I ended up with this, and I never got to finish it because I had to go do something else, but this is what came out. I think my favorite part is the fingers. This one, I kind of just sat down and drew for a while. Yeah. This is the first time I tried drawing myself, like drawing on top of a picture of myself. Or no, maybe like the second time. No, okay. This one's the first time I drew on top of a picture of myself. This was me experimenting with it. Yeah. And then this is the second time. I kind of just drew on top of the hairs on my face and outlined my pimples. That's pretty much it. This one, I wanted to try something a little happier. And I think I did okay. Yeah. Okay. So for this one, I think somebody named Rat Pope or something in Germacord was like, hey, draw on top of this for a homework assignment for me. And I was like, okay, I'll do this. And I did. I drew on top of it. And they didn't end up wanting to use it for their homework assignment, but they thought it was cool anyway. Yeah. I like how this turned out. Though I don't feel very happy with drawing on top of like somebody else's drawing, because then it's complex. Attributing whoever did what gets a little complex. This one, I have a friend that I met on like Fortnite in January. And her name's Evie, and she asked me to draw her ducks. There's Waddles and there's Twippy from Blue Skadoos. No, Twippy Wed. I'm happy with these. Yeah, I like these. I wrote Blue Skadoos with 2 L's. This one is just another selfie that I drew on top of. At this point, I started getting kind of bored of the selfies. Yeah. This one I was just sitting in a library, feeling like I should draw something, and this was my first time trying to use 16 colors, and it felt like too much for me. It overwhelmed me a little, and I felt like I should have done more than I did, but I didn't feel like I could do more, and I got burned out a little. Yeah. This, Eve was saying something about a model, and I said, hey, I can do some sort of texture you can repeat somewhere on it. And I don't know if Eve ever used it. I added Eve about it, but I don't think Eve ever used it. But this is what I came up with. It's the sort of color palette that Eve said that she'd like. Yeah. It's got the little cat faces and whatnot. This one was for an Aggie. I was doing it with someone named Leo from Germacourt. They told me to fill in an outline of an eye, and I said bet, and I did that over the course of like 30 minutes. I did all the rainbowy stuff manually, just switching colors manually, not like automatically like some gradient or whatever. I just did it all manually. This one, I was hanging out in Germacourt a lot at this time. Someone named Hamster from Germacourt, they had a character that they dreamt of, and this was my interpretation of it. And I'm happy with this. Yeah. They got a smirk, they've got like Farsi writing on their chest. Yeah. Yeah, I had fun. Ooh, okay. This one is me just writing and drawing and seeing what comes out. Part of it I don't know why. Was I counting in binary from left to right? How terrible. Oh dear. Well, that's what the orange stuff is. Yeah, I was kind of just writing stuff, because oftentimes I just get some sort of impulse to do something, and I need to get, sometimes I need to get my willows out. I gotta just use up all my impulses. And so this was me doing that. This sort of stuff is me doing that. It's just, I gotta get my wiggles out. And it feels nice to just express the result of my wiggles to other people. That's oftentimes what the stuff I draw is, or at least it was for many months. I'm not sure if I don't do that as much right now. But then again, I've been editing video for like the past month. My favorite part of this that I still think about quite often is gay fourth. There's an implementation of fourth, the programming language, called G fourth. And so gay fourth, yes. Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh, Stone Cold Baby, Phasal Nasal Salt, limited by liminal material, likely to be livid while living the explicitly inexplicable. Yeah, I have fun with alliteration and rhyming. It kind of just captivates me. Yeah. This one was about when I came back from living with my grandparents for a while. Yeah, I was just all over the place. Little bits from songs, little bits from whatever other corners of my mind. Somebody asked me to try drawing a wolf. That's what the stuff in the top left is. It didn't come out all that great. Like an anthro wolf that's a little disfigured. Slim Tim's slightly tipped fedora brim tightly gripped. Insanely encased hypochondriac is chased by an angry mob of fishies when red in the face. Sweetly swollen with that which is deeply golden. Yeah. Kathy's catheter clapping as it grabs at her. Yeah. Yeah. This was about when I was dying down in excitement, I guess. I don't know. I'd go through ups and downs. Yeah. This was me. This was. There was a point at which I just started trying to make bad music, and this was me doing my first attempt at like a single cover. Yeah, it wasn't good music, and it wasn't a particular. I was feeling a little lazy at the time. I wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't great, and yeah, this is what came out. This one I kind of just felt like drawing in a lot of different colors. I felt like I just should, so I did. I don't know. This one, I think's okay. I took a selfie and drew on top of it, and it's pretty colorful. Okay. This was for a friend's birthday, Evie from Fortnite. Her birthday was on this day, and so I drew this for her. Yeah, I had fun with this, and she liked it. I was happy with it. This is, I think Hamster from Germacord asked me to draw this. This is an interpretation of a hibiscus flower. And I kind of just added in little bits and pieces here and there, and drew lines and la-di-da-di. And also from Germacord, Honey Bear. This was, I think, the day that I first talked with Honey Bear, which is actually a good friend of mine now. And Honey Bear was having a real shit time, and I'm not gonna talk about what exactly it was, but it was a real fucked up situation. And so I drew this during our conversation, and then show this to her, and yeah. I don't know. I wanted to try to do something where I seemed just like happy and bliss. I'm not sure how it came out. This was for another song thing. Yeah, I don't really like this one. No. I shared that sad cat with a few different Discord servers, and one of the people that saw that sad cat asked that I try making a happy cat. So I made a happy cat. And schnitzel, but shitso instead. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. I was not feeling well at the time, and I drew this, and yeah, a little depresso espresso. And this was me trying to get back into colorful things. I don't know. I was feeling really. I was feeling really insecure about my artistic style at the time. So I was like, okay, let me try the stuff I'd done before a little bit. And this is what came out. I tried the thing in the bottom left after distinctly remembering that Tufu said that one of the swirly, spirally things that I'd done before was real interesting. I should try more of it. I think it was for the thing I drew while they were all in r/place. Yeah. Yeah. This world is too yellow to be yellow in. I was feeling very hectic and chaotic, so I drew hectic chaos, blah 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 blah. And this is what I have to show for it. And Evie sent me a picture of her dogs, and I messed around with it. I drew on it a little bit. Yeah. And initially what I was going to do is I was going to try drawing her dogs. And this is what came out. And there was a point at which I just gave in to the, oh, okay, these, yeah, I don't know. It's not quite dogs. But it does look happy. Spelled HAPPI. Yeah. Ah, okay. This I was feeling kind of, like I just had no more gas in my tank, but I wanted to try. And this is what came out. Yeah. And this one also. I actually quite like this one. I remember this one a lot. Sometimes I see an alien head in it. This one was, for a short while I was doing Dungeons and Dragons with, a few people from Germacord. RZ and Blame and, I think Yoshi and somebody else maybe. And, yeah. My character, Kevin, was this, he was, this is what he imagined was happening. He is all happy and floaty and, how do I describe it? Yeah, just floating around. And he's being fed peanut butter. And this is bliss. Absolute bliss. And this is Doggy. And this is a 500 by 500, a 512 by 512 portable netmat graphics format image that I have drawn on top of. Yeah. And this is a JPEG of me trying to draw a sort of cat thing that I just on the spot named Chim Chim. I don't really do names, and when I do do names, they're usually simple. So I like Chim Chim. Yeah, this was me trying stuff I'd done before again. I was a little aimless for a while. And for this, some people in Germacord were like, "Hey, we should make like a song together. We should collaborate on a song." And I did this as a picture for our group chat, like the little preview icon for the group chat. Unfortunately, since I added this to the icon for the group chat, there hasn't been a single communication in there, I'm pretty sure. So, you know. This is Chim Chim, but swirly crazy and digital. More swirly. Ooh, booger. Booger. Oh. Oh wow. Yeah. I take photo, I draw on top of. I have lots of lines. 3 different colors at 3 different brightnesses. And I tried to cover like each of my individual hairs as well as I could see them. I obviously didn't do that, but I did try my best that I could without just totally burning out to the point where I never completed. Because I I I sometimes get a little burdened by just things that I feel like I need to complete. It stresses me out a little bit. So, this is what I came up with for this. Oh, yeah, here's an eye-ish thing. And here's another eye. I actually, after doing this, I felt a little dissatisfied with it. So I had edited a little bit more. Let me find a copy of it. I'm a lot happier with the edited copy that I never really shared in Germacord, or not Germacord, sorry. The Cobble Critters Discord. I'm more happy with this edit I did. Yeah. And this I was messing around with grayscale. I wanted to see what I could draw. With this I kind of just felt, I don't know, I didn't know what to draw. Like usually what I do is I tell my brain to shut up and I just draw, and whatever I feel kind of just comes out. But I wasn't really feeling anything at this time. I don't know. I kind of just felt empty a little bit. I wasn't feeling great. This was me messing around with trying to draw on top of my own eye, because I'd drawn a few eyes, but I hadn't drawn on top of my own before. So this was me trying. And this was me also just messing around with trying to I don't know. I was working decently hard enough just to feel inspired to do something. I wasn't sure what though. For both of these. Yeah, I wasn't sure what to do. Eventually I figured, okay, I'm gonna just go out and take photographs of things and see what's interesting. So for this, this is a photograph of a bed that was on the side of the road. Somebody slept there, I'm sure. And this was a photograph of my recently deceased cat. She died like 2 days ago. Her name was Kashmir. She was very nice though. She was very, she had elegance. Yeah. This is another picture of the outdoors. This is a church. Faith, trust, and pixie dust. And this is a sidewalk. Yeah. And this is more of Kashmir. Her face. And this is a liquor store. there was somebody tweaking out right outside the edge of the frame. Yeah. And this is sun and onion and other patterns and leaves. Yeah. This was one of the first things I tried out on my iPad. Just doodling while lying down. And this one I distinctly remember I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2 pirated multiplayer online with, and while I was waiting for him to figure out how to get something to work, I doodled this. And this was me trying to show Tufu how in the image editor I usually use MT Paint, you can set some colors as like impossible to color over, and so you can easily do interweaving lines and stuff like that. And I remember saying I'm considering doing a video just to show what it's like, but I don't know, I haven't done that. This was a picture of somewhere in San Diego. There's a skateboard, and there's a guy in the back, another guy in the back, and no. And that no was actually from a sign that says North Park. And there was a chessboard, but with no pieces. So I drew pieces. But I didn't feel like drawing more. I didn't feel like drawing more of the intricate pieces on the white side, so I wrote "Have fun, sucker." This was the first like concept thing I did for my what's it called? The Cobble Critters Critter Contest. And this was me just doodling on my iPad again. It was like not probably at 2 a.m. Just I feel like I need to express something. I remember Droop said this looked awfully cathartic. I think the word is. I remembered that. Yeah. And this was, I think, Tufu, Droop, and I were all in an Aggie, and then I cropped out my corner and worked on it more on my own time, and I shared it. And Tufu said, "Hey, I'd love to see this all filled in," and I agreed. So I tried to fill more of it in. Yeah. And this is an ojo, an eye. And this is from, as Drew called it earlier, super ugh. It's written SUPER space AE, though super AE. Um, we were listening to super ugh. So over the course of like an hour, Droop and I were just like both scrawling out as fast as we could until Droop was like pasting things together, and I was just scrawling out as fast as I could, sweating in my seat, trying to just see what I could come up with that corresponded with what I was hearing in my ears. And this is what came out. And this was, I was starting to feel a little more passion, I guess, you know? I was trying to see what I could come up with again. See what I could do that felt interesting to me. And this is some of what I came up with. Bad software is irritating. Registered, trademark, not to be resold or redistributed. See patent 6368227. Segmentation fault. Good software is boring, which is terribly true. Half of what makes good software good is interfacing with it in a good way, if you will. And this is Doodle iPad. I named this one Leshin in my head, and it just felt right. And this is Doodle iPad again. And this is me doodle on computer, hash bang bin /sh while loop, and caliente and doodle 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 doodle. I'm hungry, feed me an SSD. This is a Zamnitious Hooligan. He will eat your SSD space. Have you ever turned on your computer and found out you're missing 8 gigabytes of storage on your C drive? Well, this motherfucker must have snuck in your house. And this is an apple and a tomato and an avocado. Ugh. And a belly pepper and an eggy pea. And this was for Scrawtober. Fruit. And this was also Scrawtober, small bird. And this is rabbit. And this is larger bird who has a big beak. And as Droop had noted, has found a gem. And this is a poodle thingy with a really long tongue. And this is a scrawly chicken scratch chicken. I had said when I posted this, fun fact, I did this on an install of Debian that just doesn't have good drivers for my laptop touchpad, which makes this extra scrawly. Essentially, I could not move the mouse smoothly. And after further investigation, after realizing, damn, the drivers for that suck. It actually sucks even if I plug in an external mouse. And I found out the same issue is on Alpine Linux too, which is upsetting. But you know what doesn't have that issue? OpenBSD. The mouse drivers are actually incredible. So I've been using that, and I've learned a lot. And this is a snack from Scrawltober. And at the time, I was just eating a bunch of veggie patties and sandwiches and fruit because I decided I wanted to go vegan, and I did not know what the hell to eat. So this was my start. I eventually learned that those veggie patties, not only are they very processed, but they actually contain egg, and I wasn't happy with that. But eating stuff like this was my start toward not eating abhorrently unhealthy stuff. And nowadays I kind of just eat like seeds and almonds and stuff for breakfast, and then like rice and lentils for dinner. Yeah. This is a little Jack-in-the-Box. And iPad Doodle Too Bright, iPad Doodle Windows /R 00200 400 game /catclock. This is one of the first times on the day before I drew this, because I definitely drew this at like 2 a.m. Sitting down. I had messed around with Plan 9 for a while, and this was me figuring out how to get Catclock to show up in the top right corner of the screen every time I turned on, every time I logged in. Cue a screenshot of Catclock in the top right. And this is the bottom half of Catclock. And this is Gnomiel. Gnomiel has a very nice nose, and Gnomiel is a ghost, and Gnomiel is staring into your soul. And Monday, weapon, you smell like an onion. Tuesday, skull. Wednesday, gift. Not the past, not the future, but the little binding is the present. Friend, self, reptile, and vessel. Mucho gusto. Yabba-dabba-doo. I think this also started off as an Aggie that I kind of just turned into all of this. There's an my favorite part is those green and off-white eyes in the center. Yeah, I like this. This is good. So one, clothes, horse, ghost, devil, alien, yokai, and urban legend. Lunes, disguise, martes, see-through, miércoles, broken. And for broken, I chose to do Windows, Chrome, Firefox, and glibc. glibc is the one and only wonderful GNU C standard library. Yeah. Very fun if you're trying to build a static binary. Jueves, Devour, and I chose to do YouTube, Steam, and Cherry Pie. And for Viernes, Sabotage. And for the Sabotage, I chose to do a teacher who, fun fact, teachers in the US, they kind of just always say, hey, no matter who you are, you should go to college right after high school. And I found out the reason why, a majority of the time, they say that, is because a graduating high school student that goes to college immediately after high school, the high school that they attended gets extra money from the government when that happens. So teachers are incentivized to always recommend college directly after high school, even if it's a really shitty idea. Sabotage. Mystery material. Try the gray stuff. It's delicious. Don't believe me? Ask the dishes. Sábado, runaway. Domingo, dubious. And this is the end of Scrawltober for me. The skull. And this is, I don't. Oh yeah, I remember. I was with Honey Bear and a VC, and she asked me to draw something from a screenshot, and this is what I came up with. Yeah. Okay, this is another animation thing I did. This one took me a while. It's the only one my cousin ended up using, and it wasn't how I particularly intended. But I'm happy enough with it. This one, I was sitting down with my sister and drawing something along with her, because for her school she had to take a photo of something and then try drawing it. And so we both did that together. She did her own, I did my own. And this is another animation I did. This one I manually outlined somebody doing, I'm not sure what you call it with their hands. It was really difficult. This one really burned me the hell out from animation, and I still kind of dread animating right now just because this was very painful. Yeah. This was me trying to draw realistically. It didn't turn out all that great. It kind of just I still have a lot to learn in realism. This one I remember likening it a little bit to a very disfigured Michael Jackson after his operation, who was also very perplexed. But then is also losing a little bit of their hair, and is wearing lipstick, and loves your mother. And this was the last thing I did for my cousin before he said, "Oh yeah, actually I'm done with the video now," and showed me he only used one of the things I made. I wasn't particularly happy with this, and I didn't really want to do it, but it's what he asked me to do. He didn't end up actually using this either. Yeah. This one, I took a photo, indexed it, changed the colors, and drew a little bit on top of it. And that's that. Alright, and now that this is coming to a close, I'd like to say, thanks for sitting on your ass for I don't know how long to watch this. I appreciate your attention, and yeah, I appreciate the creative channel too a lot. At least I hope this would express that. It was really, it's been just really nice in general. It's been good for my mental health, and I've made friends, and yeah, I thank you.